Hello, beautiful people. We have a live and an energy report that I'm very excited about sharing with you guys today. So I'm just going to open up the chat, make sure that you can hear and see me okay. Just going to have a sip of my cuppa, just making sure that my streaming stuff is working. Been having some technical issues, a little bit of a funky time, but that's all good. All right, now I know we've got a bit of a delay, so I just want to make sure that I've connected. It looks like I have, which is awesome. All right, all good. I think we are all good. Just give me the heads up if you can hear and see me okay. Beautiful. Hi, Faye. How you doing? Awesome to see you. All right, well, very exciting news as far as energy reports go. I haven't done any for a while, but this is possibly the best ever. It's just amazing. And for those of you who are interested in ascension and growth, truths being revealed, new earth, well, here it is. We have the transit of Pluto in Aquarius. Hi guys, hi Leslie. And this is about the dawn of the Age of Aquarius. So November 19th, so that was, a couple of days ago, we had Pluto entered Aquarius as a transit, and it's going to be there for 20 years. Now, this hasn't happened since 1778 to 1798. That was the last time the transit happened. And that was a huge time in world history because what happened then, feudal imperial systems fell to collective consciousness, to an uprising for truth, for unity, for power with instead of power over. So this is where the oligarchs and the people that were holding the power and were subjugating everybody else fell, and the uprising happened, and it turned back to innovation and freedom and expansion and all the things that we're looking at as spiritual, physical, material beings in order to be able to thrive. This is a massive, massive time. Now, a lot of you may have felt what you're seeing as well, because the world is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. We know it looks like we're on the brink of World War III, that all sorts of things are coming to the surface. There's lots of distractions. There's lots of things going on. And we know that, those of you that are looking into the geopolitical landscape, but also too, even if you're just dealing with the spiritual landscape and your inner landscape, you will be realizing that you feel like you're going through massive changes. You're undergoing shifts within yourself. Things are coming up to the surface to be released. There's aspects of your life that you just can't stomach anymore. Maybe there are people that just you're not yoking with. You know they're not your people. You're seeing things a lot more clearly. And a lot of you in this community, you're doing amazing work on your own ascension, your own growth, your own breakthroughs, and really doing beautifully with your inner work because you've been positioning for a time like this, which is so, so exciting. So what this is about, Pluto is about death, rebirth. It's about regeneration. It's a little planet that carries a very big stick. And when it comes in, what it does is it breaks down old orders to make way for new orders. And it works in the shadows. Pluto is not scared of getting into the deepest, darkest stuff and really creating havoc there for revolution. Now, Aquarius, where Pluto has just moved into, what that is doing is that is moving this Aquarian energy forward in massive acceleration. So the energy of this has been going down anyway since the harmonic convergence that happened in 1987. And we've been speeding up, we've been in a quickening. You may have noticed, those of you who are around my age, when we were kids, days went forever, time went forever. It was like, but you ask kids now if time goes fast. They will tell you it's nothing to do with age, time is going fast. And what's happened is we're in a quickening, we're in an ascension, things are speeding up. And what is speeding up is we're going from low density 3D vibration to a higher density 5D vibration. It's happening galactically, it's happening cosmically, it's happening within us. Our strands are waking up from a 2-strand DNA individual, thinking that we're just a little ego in a body having an experience, to understanding that we actually are made in the image and likeness of Grand Creator, Prime Creator, all that is, and that we have the ability to heal, we have the ability to regenerate, we have the ability to grow, we have the ability to break through, we have the ability to influence those around us and the world in general in incredible ascension ways. A lot of you that are attracted to my work, you're part of that ascension army. That's what you're here to do. So this is such an impactful time that we are in, is this age of Aquarius that has now had Pluto go in, smash apart all the things that are in the old power over paradigm to release us to the power with paradigm. Now, back in 1778, where that happened with the American and the French revolutions, that was a huge, huge time that shaped the course of history in incredible ways after that. So this was a real comeback from Atlantis and Lemuria and the fall of those civilizations that were Agrarian unity consciousness, collective consciousness, that then fell to dark forces who then, you know, pretty much enslaved humanity. There's things that happen on this planet that evolved societies and evolved entities would look at and just think is absolutely ridiculous. How are we paying for food and shelter and water and energy? That's insane. Why do we get taxed to death on everything, but yet our money isn't going back into infrastructure and assisting our lives? It's going off to foreign interests and other things that, you know, are dismantling us, they're not helping us, and that are attacking other human beings. You know, there's just the craziness that goes on. And you have trillionaire billionaires that tell everybody else that, you know, you shouldn't own a cow that farts and you're doing all the wrong things. While we have food and ecological systems that are, and food in our water systems and our air and our soil that is contaminated by pesticides and all sorts of things that are killing us. It's insane. So this is the stuff that's falling. This is this power over model, which has all been incredibly narcissistic. It's about harvesting, it's about exploiting, it's about gaslighting, it's about manipulating, it's about lying, and it's about keeping you in fear and confusion and powerlessness so that you never discover the truth of who you really are, so that you can step out of that system and create a system with other awakened beings that's actually going to work for the good of the all. And that's pretty much exactly what a narcissist will do to you in your house, as well as a narcissistic system that's a more overriding system. So this is so exciting. Can you tell how excited I am about this? You know, I've been an ascension junkie for years, for decades, really sped up over the last few years. And this is the most exciting breakthrough that I've ever seen. Okay, and I've been watching it and I'm in tune with it as a quantum healer, as an energy healer, as somebody who helps people get out of narcissistic abuse, out from under the boot to your true self and your true life. This is so exciting because what we have here, this is Phoenix energy. Okay, Pluto going into Aquarius is Phoenix energy. This is where we can rise from the ashes. So this is where we can squarely look at what is no longer serving us and just say no. Stop fighting with it. Stop wrestling with it. Just say no. I no longer acquiesce. I'm not going to participate. This is not my reality. I'm done with this. No, which is the best thing you can actually say to a narcissist ever is no more. I don't have to justify, I'm not going to explain, I'm not going to fix, I'm not going to change, I'm not going to lecture, I'm not going to prescribe, I just say no. So we've got an amazing opportunity to really now self-reflect, feel what is our truth and what isn't, and just say no. Because this transformative force is taking us into a new way of being, new consciousness, and a new life, literally a new world. Because what is happening is these outdated systems that are to do with manipulation, lies, ill intent, lack of empathy, self-absorption, and self-gratification at the expense of who cares what, usually putting people down and destroying them to be able to siphon out their life force. That's what a narcissist does. Those old systems are all being dismantled. They're coming up, they're being exposed. You're seeing it in your own life. Just say me in the chat if you are relating to what I'm saying, if this is resonating with you. And of course, it's scary going from what we know to what we don't. But yet at a deep level, you do know, you know. And it's just, you know, we've gone along to get along, and we've thought that this is the only way that we can be with certain people or certain situations or certain systems, that we just have to go along and we have to be in them, we have to comply. They're falling anyway. And we're seeing it everywhere we look. So what this is doing, it's creating the space for new paradigms that are actually rooted in freedom, unity, consciousness, which is, I couldn't harm you because you and I are one. I'd be harming myself. You know, that's the truth on the quantum level of the wave function. And the awakening to that, to the oneness of that, is what unity consciousness is all about. And visionary thinking. And this is about how do we revolutionize, which is Pluto and Aquarius, how do we revolutionize our old systems and our old paradigms that aren't working? Have a look at our world. It's not working. And then we get blamed for it. We didn't put those systems in place. Yes, we fell asleep at the wheel and we went along with them, but we're not the people that dictated them or directed them or did them. Okay, because think about it like this. Power over needs chaos, needs destruction, needs people in fear and pain and suffering in order to rule over. And this is what planet Earth has been ever since the fall of Atlantis and Lemuria, but specifically as a ramp up in the last 5,000 years. So, you know, and we had that little overturn that happened back in the last time Pluto went into Aquarius. We definitely had it with the French and the American Revolution, but the consciousness wasn't awake enough. It wasn't heightened enough. And also we didn't have the 4 galactic cycles that are all now simultaneously happening together. As per prophecy, where we enter the photon belt, we have the central sun of Alcyon, which is streaming light codes in. We are literally in a higher, finer frequency of 5D vibration. And it's here now. Back then, it wasn't. So even though that was a revolution that got a bit of a foothold, it pretty much then, you know, that just morphed and got infiltrated, and it fell back into the paradigm of power over. This time it's different. This time the light wins. It is our time. It is New Earth's time. So we have here, which we didn't have back in the French and the American revolutions, we have a collective awakening. It has happened en masse on planet Earth more now than ever. People are coming out of the amnesia. A lot of people are starseeds, which I call light workers. And these are the people who are most likely to be narcissistically abused because, well, first of all, you know, you are from a baseline frequency of unity consciousness. So trauma impacts you very, very deeply. But also too, you know, because you have so much light, narcissistic people latch onto that because you have integrity, you have a good heart, you have a good empathy. Your words and your actions and your intentions can be turned against you very easily. You're very susceptible to being gaslit. I was too. But it's time for those of the light, which you are. That's why you're here on this channel, to take back your light and rise. And we've never had a better time than to do it. And a lot of people are doing it, which is also adding to Earth's 5D ascension. This is why it's actually so successful, even though it looks like a mess. That's everything breaking to make way for this. And it's on schedule, it is working, it is happening, and we're going along with it. So this is a profound spiritual transformation. So that's exactly what Pluto and Aquarius is. So we're aligning with higher frequencies, deepening our inner wisdom, and we are doing our own shadow work. That's so important for us personally, to go free from the traumas and the things that we've experienced and the heaviness of what's happened in our own lives and what's happened on planet Earth, because we absorb it. HSPs, highly sensitive people, intuitives, empaths, star seeds, you feel it. I know that, like I have too. So our shadow work is so important in this time, so we don't dissolve into the trauma and the helplessness and the powerlessness. So we are the phoenix, which is exactly what this transit is about. So Aquarius energy is about breaking free from limitations. It's about embracing our true values and fostering connections with others, which are based on shared purpose and higher consciousness. Now, because Aquarius unity consciousness is about we come together as soul tribes. So I know a lot of you, as star seeds, black sheep, you felt ostracized, you felt misunderstood your whole life. You get narcissistically abused, and you know, often you hermit because you can't trust people. And maybe you're hermiting and doing aloneness for really good reasons, which is the self-reflection, the self-partnering, the self-healing. And my narcissistic abuse recovery program is perfect for that, while connecting with this massive global online community to get your healing done. But maybe also too, you're just feeling stuck and you just don't want to be on this planet. Now it's our time. This is not the witch crusades. This is not back in the dark ages where people that were connected to source or earth or plants or midwifery or herbal healing were put to death. We're beyond that. We're past that. When we don't have the persecution of that, this is our time. It's our time to come together and to rise up. And we're doing it. And I hope that you feel that you're doing it. I hope that you feel that you're doing it. And hi, Kate. It's beautiful to have here. And Kate, I know for a fact that you're doing it. You're doing the work, and it's amazing. So this ride is going to be wild, right? It's wild. We've got Pluto, which is like revolutionary, which my dog's called Pluto, and he's crazy. But I call him Plutonian. I'm like, hello, Plutonian. What are you up to today? Because he is a revolutionist. Amazing. Pluto revolutionizes, and it can happen very quickly. Now, we've got Aquarius, which is revolutionary. You've got the two of them together for 20 years. Come on. What do you think's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen? Things that you never thought would happen. You're going to see things that you never believed you would see in your lifetime. For the next 20 years, it's on like Donkey Kong, truly. And we've got massive solar flares. We've got Schumann resonance spiking. Okay, so just breathe and open your heart. And the best thing you can do is not try to control it. Just let go and let source and go with it. Because what we're going to see is good. We're going to have, I would seriously say, by the time this 20 years is up, this world and how we've lived and who we are will literally be unrecognizable. That's how I feel. So what this is to go with this, because it's going to be for the better, and it is going to be things like technology, AI, innovation for good, Okay, yes, there's bad AI. Yes, there's shocking technology. Yes, there's terrible things. Of course, we know that. But what's going to happen is a revolutionary. We're probably going to have anti-gravity craft. We're going to have technologies that have been suppressed and patents that have been suppressed are going to come up. We could be moving into free energy. We're definitely probably going to go into hydrogen energy. There's so many things, but in the Aquarian age, it's for the collective good. It's not to have power over and suppression and fake things come forward that actually don't heal, that harm, that then create more money for those kind of industries that are all about us being unwell and disempowered and stuck. That's the whole narcissistic psychopathy that is what greedy, egotistical, fearful, empty people do who are cut off from source. That's how they operate, right? Because they say, I'm God, and they're not connected to their true higher self, and that's how they behave. So that's exactly what's been going on. And now we're coming home to the truth of what is possible for us as our own spiritual technology, which is an incredible abilities to evolve and heal ourselves from the inside out and live as we were intended and always coded to be before we got messed with and poisoned, literally with information and with substances, so that we can come back online. But also too, we're going to be able to have the level of heightened consciousness without the oligarchs' rules to be able to have things like free energy and technology that totally enhances the way that we live and we connect and we commute, so that we have time for what really matters, which is not survival, food on the table, roof over our head. It will be about how do we create, how do we expand our consciousness, our spirituality? How do we go from being a cut off, small, disconnected human being on this place to being more galactic, to realizing the truth of who we are in our universe and our spiritual ascension? This is it. This is incredibly exciting. So this is now, you know, for so many, so within, so without. It's quantum law. It's absolute truth. And this is where I stand in all of these things. Like, we can get caught up in the concepts and the learning and the researching and the thinking. But ultimately, we need to become it. And become is be it, then it comes. What does be mean? As an electromagnetic being who is connected to the entire universe, literally, quantumly, it's true, through your inner universe, this is about where are we in our inner universe? Where are we in our electromagnetic 40 million bits per second as a functioning, somatic, emotional human being? And this is a self-partnering with our inner world. So for me, as exciting and incredible, and, you know, I could listen to every YouTuber about the Age of Aquarius and everything else, what is actually really important to me is my inner experience. Because I know this is, I'm in this. It's taking me with it. So where am I while it's taking me with it? Am I 3D? Am I clogged up with trauma? Am I battling with things and situations that are not my reality? Or am I letting them go and ascending? Am I facing my own stuff? Am I doing an inner curriculum on my things that I know are my skirmishes or my defenses or my wounds? You know, am I dealing with those and letting them go so I can fill with light and I can ascend? Am I moving out of the poverty, lack mindset of 3D and fear into abundance and thriving for all, which I'm so excited about in this Aquarian age? Am I being a poster child for that? Am I helping lead the way as others are leading the way for others, so that we can all understand that the way we have been living in this dark age is not how we were ever intended to live, and we've been lied to and we've been told it's normal, and it is anything but, which is why it feels like shit. Our body tells us we are not supposed to be living like this, right? There is a new dawn, the new age coming, But who are we going to be? Because the thing is too, a lot of people understandably are going to cling to what they know and not want to let go. And it's human nature anyway. We've been really programmed to cling and fight and try to change that thing out there rather than let go and change ourselves. Okay? So this is such a time. So astrologically in this, what's just happened, so this Aquarian shift is all about releasing our karmic patterns and our subconscious blockages so that we can go with it, so that we can step into our spiritual power and we can activate untapped potential. It's so we can align with our true selves, being free from the egoic program, fearful, limited constraints that are all fear-based, that have kept us manifesting and rolling around in the very things that we fear. Schumann's resonance has been ramping up. It's going to keep ramping up. It's fluctuating. It's going up and down. There's increased solar activity. We're in solar maximums, but it's not going to stop. It's even accentuating this whole energy of this Aquarian age awakening, expansion, explosion. And it is going to be an explosion in a lot of ways. But what it's also doing, it's also amplifying our consciousness. So solar flares and Schumann resonance are kind of like you're in a dark room and somebody switches on the light and sounds off a bullhorn and you're like, oh my God, this is what's happening. Like you are literally, you may be a different person tomorrow than who you are today. And it's like an epiphany, an awakening. Your eyes are opening. You're knowing things. You always knew them, but they were just shrouded with programming and being numbed and dumbed down. And now in this awakening, it's like you are remembering, which means remember to come back together to the truth of who you really are. That's what's been happening. So we're going to have lots of other planetary, I'm not an astrologer per se, I'm really not, but I do know that there are the alignments. We've been having supermoons that are crazy. This last Taurus supermoon was a doozy. That was really big. A lot of people had to face their shit with that one. I saw it everywhere around me and I saw it in my own life too. This isn't going to stop. This is continuing. But it's really about what are we going to hang? Are we going to hang on to the old self and the old structures, or are we going to let go and let the new come in? You know, it's like a beautiful feng shui. You know, when you declutter your house and you look at everything and you go, do you still serve me in my life or don't you? Because if not, I'm going to donate you. I'm going to give you away. This is this time. This is this time to look at everything in your life and just keep your heart open and breathe and listen to your inner guidance. Does this thing serve me? Is this serving me? No, if it doesn't, it's time to let go because the new is coming in like a freight train. You're going to have all the guidance, all the intuitive messages, all the synchronicities, all the opportunities, all the miracles that you've ever wanted. But you've got to let go to let it in. You've got to make space for it. Does that make sense? All right, so just for shits and giggles, all right, we're going to have a look at how this alignment that's just happened could affect your particular star sign. Now, like I said, I'm not an astrologer, but a lot goes into star signs, like your moon, your rising, all sorts of things. But this might relate to you. So with this Pluto Aquarian age happening right now, if you're Aries, maybe you're going to redefine your social networks and your aspirations, your dreams. If you're Taurian, maybe this is going to be a time of transforming your professional identity and how you gain your reputation in the world. Not what am I going to do, who do I want to be in the world? Gemini, maybe you've got the feeling that you want to travel, you want to learn, you want to expand in that way. So for Cancerians, we've got a deep shift in intimacy and shared resources. who you're sharing resources with right now. Leo, radical changes in relationships and partnerships. Virgo, a reset in health. You might really want to look at, am I doing 5D health? Am I drinking filtered water? Am I buying from farmers markets? Am I letting go of produced food? Am I getting off chemicals? Yeah. Libra, which is me. Hello to fellow Librans. Bold creativity and shifts in love and self-expression. So true. That's actually really true. When I looked at this, I thought this is true for me, and this is why I wanted to share it with you guys. Is this true for anybody here? All right, I'm going to get to Capricorn D. Just say yes in the chat if this relates to you. Scorpio, transformation in the home and the family dynamics. Sagittarian, passionate communication and intellectual pursuits. Capricorn, here we go, D, redefine values and financial structures. Is that what you're up to, D? Aquarius, personal transformation and karmic resolution. Yep. And Pisces, deep spiritual awakenings and releasing of old fears. Okay, I don't know if that relates to you. I just thought I'd throw that in. But regardless, we're transforming probably pretty much everything. Most importantly, we're transforming from the inside out. Because this is all about unity consciousness. We've been in a world where we've been programmed to believe in separation consciousness. First of all, we're separated from God Source Prime Creator because it's an outer being, and we've got to bow and scrape, and we've got to earn our worth and our value and love. And that's separation consciousness. Whereas the truth about our connection to Source, Prime Creator, is as a fractal and made in the image and the likeness as a fractal of Source. We are loved and adored beyond measure because we exist, because we are an incredible, incredible creation. We're part of Christos. We're part of that crystalline technology. Anything but. That's the first part of separation consciousness. Then because we've been separated from God's source creation, we've been separated from ourselves, which means that we've talked to ourselves like garbage. We are our worst inner critic. We criticize, we berate, we try to shame and blame ourselves into shape because we don't feel lovable or worthy or good enough, because God's source creation, we were told, doesn't, unless we do certain conditional things. And our parents, because they were brought up under the same separation consciousness model, they didn't know how to validate, hold space for emotions, and to acknowledge and allow us to be the incredible emotional, electromagnetic, somatic being, our inner self, our true soul. We weren't allowed to be and be loved and accepted as that. So, you know, we had that conditional love or neglectful love or abusive love. So we were never good enough. And then we went into our relationships from this broken framework, and we were taught by all the narratives programmed out there that it's man against woman, it's black against white, it's Republican against Democrat, it's this, it's country, it's faith, it's religion against religion. Like, it's just gone on and on and on and on. So is it any wonder that we're at war with each other, we're at war with God, and we're at war with ourselves? It's been a disgrace. That's separation consciousness. That's the old 5,000 paradigm that has kept us broken, warring, and completely fragmented, trying to survive. That's done. It's finished. The time's run out. And you're going to see it more and more and more. I promise you. So where we're going now, Aquarian age is here. Bang. It's landed. So this is about unity consciousness. So we're breaking down separation and we're embracing collective evolution. It always starts between us and ourselves. And what it means is we let go of our traumas and we bring in our light, our true essence, which isn't logical learning. It's actually somatic embodiment, which is what Quantum Freedom Healing does, which is what all of my healing programs do. So then what happens is we can start moving into freedom and innovation. We let go of handing our power away to control systems that are outside of ourselves, where you can never acquiesce your way out of tyranny and slavery. And we thought we could. Well, we thought it was normal. We were born into captivity. It's not normal. So what happens is we let go of things that don't feel good and don't feel right, and we start gravitating towards, what does it mean to be sovereign and conscious and free? What does it mean to be a part of New Earth, building new structures that are actually aligned with well-being and the holistic nature of unity, consciousness for all? What does that mean? Because I promise you, they're popping up everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. They are going to take over. They are the winning team, hanging on to the old ways. We're crumbling, decaying, breaking, being exposed left, right and center. You want to get off those old ships and get onto the new cruise liners. Okay, but you've got to, of course it takes courage, and it takes getting out of inner enslavement of feeling trapped in your traumas, which is where they've wanted you. Narcissistic people, systems and overlords have wanted you. Enough, their time's up. Okay, so ascension and light activation, which is what I'm all about. I'm coming out a lot more publicly and talking about it. And people are going, Melanie, you're a narcissist. No, I found it. I found it years ago when and I had my breakdown and I saw the quantum world. Those of you who've ever done my healing programs, you know I'm quantum, you know I'm into ascension, you know I work with everything that I'm telling you right now. But you know, people on the surface level go, well, this is just about recovering from narcissists. No, it's actually about recovering and activating yourself. That's actually what it's about. So ascension and light activation is about opening ourselves up to these higher vibrational states. And in those light codes is the instructions, is the information, is everything you need to be activated. You already know it. You already always did. You just had it covered with dross and buried. Now we're getting rid of the dross and we're activating. And I'm seeing it happening everywhere as well. So guys, that was what I wanted to jump on with and I wanted to share with you. And I want to ask you guys, have the courage to share this with your audiences. Get it out there. And I know as the black sheep and as the star seed, if you're resonating with me, you're a black sheep star seed. You're like, oh no, I can't talk to people about this stuff. These conversations one day, maybe in the not too far distant future, are going to be normal conversations because the other ones have been incredibly abnormal. So have the courage to open your heart and share with those you love and just say, you know, listen to this lady and does it resonate with you? Yeah? Because it's our time, but we have to participate. We have to be an active part of this. All right? We have to let go and let God, source, prime creator, whatever you believe your higher self is, and start moving up into this higher frequency. Because if we don't, it's kind of like going down a river and you're going to get bashed into the rocks because you're not going with the stream, right? Whoa. And I also wanted to tell you guys, have a look up in my description. I've just opened up the December Soul Spa. It's about 19 days away. It's all about this. And what it's also about is how do we as star seeds move into New Earth, manifesting spiritual and financial prosperity. So it's all about wealth, abundance, about expansion, about how to transition, how to make it work for you on those levels. So check it out. It's melanietoniaevans.com/ascension and grab yourself a spot for that. So I hope today has helped inspire you. I hope it's pumped you up. I hope it's fired you up. And I also hope too it's helped you release the scales on some things that aren't sitting right in your body that you're already feeling, to be open to new information, new ways of being. All right, I love you. And wherever you are in the world, I hope you have a beautiful day. And we'll talk again soon. Lots of